Did you have training and experience dealing with injuries or covering up bruising on people? Do you have any specific experience or education?
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another show again on Friday. We're gonna go back to Wednesday 5:05 p.m. but due to the circumstances, thank God this trial is done next week. Hi everyone, my name is Susan. I'm a human behavior hacker. Some people have computers, I have humans, and guess what? I have fun having it. And now I can point you right because you're next to me.
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Elba Susan. I'm the CEO of Latin America.
And yeah, no, you're not seeing double. We have the same glasses, we have the same t-shirt. Hey, everybody loved it last week, we need to keep it. And today we have a show, oh my God, what a show. We cover things about the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard that nobody else has covered. We're going to be talking about the clothing, we're going to talk about the bruises, and we talk to two experts, one off camera, because she cannot appear on camera testifying or telling us why the bruises are happening and what are related to Botox and fillers. We talk with a makeup artist talking about how difficult are the bruises to cover and how easy are to make bruises. And we're going to edit part of the testimony of the makeup artist the Amber team bring, just saying that she can make bruises.
Yes.
By the way, nobody's talking about the Amber Heard is a makeup artist herself. We're going to talk about the different donations and pledge, if it's any consequences for she lying on the stand. We're going to talk about metadata. Most people says those pictures weren't taken on the time that she says. Well, we bring an expert who find those things and testify in court. We're going to talk about the media. And again, Amber Heard team did a huge mistake. Bring an expert on media who actually make the jury aware that what is going on out there if they already don't know about it. And we're going to talk about the language. Do you know it's a difference between splinters and broken?
Yes, and we are going to talk about that.
And yours is going to be your specialty.
Yes.
Girls, let's go with the show. Did Amber changes help her or not? Oops,
She did it again.
So we're going to talk, first of all, about the clothes. And while we're talking about the clothes, to understand, we have been doing trial consulting for 12 years already? Yeah,
Yes,
12 years. So one of the things that you talk with your clients is the clothing and the hair they need to use. People is going to make a first impression in how you present yourself. In this case, we have a small number of jurors, but usually you have 10 to 12, and you have extra jurors who's going to be on the audience waiting to see what happened. It's impossible that any moment, nobody's going to be paying attention to you, your body language, your micro expression, your reactions. But one of the problems that Amber Heard have is that I don't think she's wrongly coached. I think she's too cocky and thinks she know it all.
Yes, I agree with you.
And that is a huge, huge problem because she's not doing what the lawyers are telling her to do. And I don't know who is the consultant who is telling her what she needs to wear, but she's wearing in the wrong way. And let me tell you, this is the first day of her testimony and cross testimony, and that's what she wear. And these are the memes happening out there.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Let's talk about the first day that she did cross testimony. To me, the day 16 is the best outfit she ever wore. And the day 6, 9, 18, and 19 to me are the best outfits she have. Now, she dressed like a lady. She have her hair done like a lady, like a mother, like a professional person. Now, when we go into the day 17, how she look like? Mafia gangster?
Yes.
stripes over stripes. The shirt wasn't completely tailored to her neck. You can see that the shirt is a little bigger for her neck. And actually, she put weight before the trial. She is at least 10 to 20 pounds heavier than she was before. I don't know if she want to make the message that I'm not onto my image. I want to look like I'm doing better than when I was doing with Johnny. Actually, that is your theory.
Yeah, I think, okay, if you can see when she testifies on 2018, she looked thinner. Now she looks like in a better way and with more weight. I think it's going to be like, okay, you see, I'm not with him, so I'm better with him.
But she ruined it with the dress. Again, it looked like a mafia Italian guy from the Sicilian Godfather. Wrong choice. Now, I do like what she wore on the 18 and 19. What is wrong with it? Even though on the 19, she's wearing a blouse tied until the top.
It fit her.
The jacket is feminine. It's a Chanel style jacket, and I'm sure must be Chanel. The hair with the barrettes and things like that, I don't know if I would do it, but at least it's more feminine and less Hollywood glam than what she has been using before.
But you see something?
What?
In the day 18, she has her hair here covering her personal side.
Yep.
And it's
she
the
always
second time that she did this.
Yeah, cover her personal side. But on the 18, again, professional jacket, not overdoing. You don't need to do pencil pants and high heels. She is wearing a professional dress with a belt, define the figure with a jacket, not to be too sexy. She's not showing legs. She's not showing boobs. These two outfits, the day before, on Monday cross-examination, day 18 and day 19, I think they nail it with the clothing. But the most important day of the cross-examination is the second day when her witnesses were on the stand, either recording, pre-recording or live. She again looked like too aggressive.
Yeah.
Wrong decision. If you want to have these snip tips on your email, remember, if you subscribe to our newsletter, link below, you can have a 70-minute class of how to spot a narcissist and face reading. And it's gonna be delivered in your mailbox. I know it wasn't done on, this week went Tuesday. We were good.
Yes.
How to Help You webinar is going to be once a month, the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The first one with this month, and we have more people than our webinar license have, so we duplicate the license. I will apologize. We hope to see you the first Monday of June. You receive icebreakers and videos on how to manage networking, how to read people, how to read their body language and other people and yourselves. And be paying attention, because we have our next beta testing class in sales that we're launching on July 4. So we're going to be looking for people who is trying to move to sales or is working on sales to show the new classes that we're doing with Richard Harris about sales and behavior. Remember, you want to know how to spot a narcissist? Right show to talk about that, no?
Yeah.
Ooh, the picture.
It's the right time.
It's the right time, the right show to be talking about that. You can get your own conclusions, and you're gonna be receiving this class. Now, Bruises. We have the teasers out there. So when you don't know what you don't know, you bring experts. I hear a lot of people talking about what kind of bruises have been done, how, if they're injections, they're Botox, they're makeup, but you don't talk about things that you don't know. So we work on the team, in our team, with a makeup artist, Dawn Bliss. She has been voted 5 years in a row one of the top makeup artists on the Midwest. And she is going to be talking to us how and why their bruises are suspicious, and how the makeup artist who has been doing Amber Heard faces for decades maybe actually kill the testimony.
Yes.
But nobody gonna know. You wanna know? You're gonna know if you don't pay attention. Why? You need to pay attention to the words. And we didn't coordinate that in purpose.
No.
just is creepy. We're not only dressing away the same way, we're thinking on the same way. Hi, Dawn. How are you doing today?
Hi, Susan. Doing great. How are you?
Great. Okay, Dawn, you're an expert in makeup. I have seen you done things in faces that nobody else. For the people who doesn't know, Dawn is our makeup artist. Like, she can do miracles. She has done makeup and men, women, and kids, and she can convert any face and make people likable, even though when there are not. People don't know that when you need to be presenting on your company, you need to be on TV, you need to be in court, or you need to do video institutionals for your company, you need to have the makeup. You need to understand that the face you see in the mirror is not the face that is likable for everybody to show.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. You can change your expression just with your makeup, just by adding little angles here and there.
So what are the things that you can change in your face with makeup from the regular face to the face you want to show?
Well, I think the biggest thing, I mean, obviously we communicate with our eyes. So, you know, you want to make your eyes as big as possible so you can draw people into what you're saying. And, you know, the number one thing, like for women, is eyeliner, mascara, curling the eyelashes, and also the shape of the eyeliner. Everyone is into this wing liner like this, and it does lift the eyes, but it also makes your eyes look more closed and more angled. So if you kind of go back to the traditional just lining the outer corner, it makes them look really big, and that's what you want.
Now, to the opposite, can you fix a broken nose in 24 hours to not show it's broken and swelling with eyes and makeup?
Well, I think like fix might not be the most appropriate word, but you can definitely kind of trick the eye and reduce how severe it looks. So it really depends. I mean, if it's just a small break, you probably can make it almost imperceptible. But if it's really broken and really crooked, you're just going to reduce it. But in natural lighting, you'll be able to tell.
So
Just to be able to tell that it's broken because you can see the bump. And makeup doesn't fix texture or planes. It just tricks the eye.
Can you fix that by putting ice before you do the makeup? You can reduce the swelling to the point that can be imperceptible?
Yes. Okay. So my favorite movie, Mommy Dearest. I don't know what's wrong with me, but my favorite movie as a child, I thought that Joan Crawford was so glamorous. But if you recall, there's a famous scene where she does ice baths on her face every morning. So she fills up the sink with ice and then dips her face because it does reduce the swelling. And that's a trick.
Okay.
You know what's so funny? A little fun fact is that I used to do that when I was a child, like a kid in high school, because I just copied everything I saw, and I really had no swelling, I had no wrinkles, and I was trying to keep myself young and fresh.
Now, hiding things, the opposite. One of the things that she did on her first testimony is that her first job was as a makeup artist. So she knew how to do faces for other people and herself. Now, it is possible that a makeup artist can fake injuries on a face and enhance injuries in their face?
Absolutely. In fact, I was thinking about this, and it's you know, special effects makeup, when you create wounds. I've been in classes where people really excel at this, and you can't tell that it's a wound. It looks real. It's harder to hide a wound than it is to create it, because you're creating something that's three-dimensional. But how do you hide something that's three-dimensional? It's harder to hide a wound than it is to create it, because you're creating something that's three-dimensional. But how do you hide something that's three-dimensional? Does that make sense?
Interesting. What about cuts in your lips? Because when one of the things, I use red lipstick all the time. That's where I make my focus, and my eyebrows and my mouth. And you teach me how to do it and look natural, but have my own avatar. We talk about this all the time. Susan, you need to be an avatar, and we create it together. Now, when you have a cut in your lip, or a blister, or an herpes reaction in your lip, when you put red lipstick, I feel like it's going to be more showing and the makeup is going to get on the crack. And in some point, if you wear makeup for more than 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to show more than hiding it.
Yes. So, a strategy with that would be to match the color of the wound. So it blends in so you can't tell. So if it's kind of, let's just say if it's like a kind of a dark mauve color, more of a maroon color, you want to match that. Or if you have bruising, what I do is I use a light pink lip pencil, something that has a lot of payoff. I go over the whole lip and then I do my lipstick on top of that and it kind of covers it up.
But it can be seen in TV because in TV people, we talk about this. You have a makeup for TV and you have a makeup for everyday life. One of the things in TV, the risky is with the 3D dimensions on the TV, it's in movies, you can do Photoshop after, you can use the angles and the filters, but TV with the illumination and how near the camera go to you, it will be really difficult to hide a cut or a bruise in your lip, correct?
It would. Honestly, it depends on the severity of it. If it's a little cut, then you can kind of blend in with the color, as I said, and you wouldn't be able to tell. If it kind of bleeds onto the skin, then, you might be able to see on the skin. If it's severe, it would be hard, but it's possible.
Quick question. Have you ever seen injuries for fillers and Botox around the eyes and around the nose?
Around the eyes, yes, not around the nose, because women, I get fillers myself. I get fillers and Botox, and I've concealed bruising before. So with color corrective makeup. So if it's purple, you use something that's a peach tone, and they actually sell color correctors for that. As well as the lips, I do the trick that I just told you. Now, I don't know of an instance where you would have bruising around the nose because you probably want to get fillers around the nose. But yes, around the eyes. And actually, a lot of my clients hire me because they've done injections too close to their event, and then they bruise more than expected, and they need my help to cover it up. And it's really difficult to cover that up.
So when you have fillers on the cheek in this area, they don't use a normal syringe. They use like a cannula, like this.
Yes.
Thicker. And the material they use is thicker because we work with a registered nurse when we do that for our clients who, for obvious reasons, she couldn't be with us today because she want to keep I don't want people to know that I'm doing that with you. Great, respect.
Okay.
So, but you make 2 holes here. And when they put the filling, this area get bruised. And actually, in some of the images that I saw in Amber, we were with the nurse, and she says she have the bruises and the holes just where I would put the fillers based on her face. And when you do fillers under the eyes to pump it and look more alive, what happened is sometimes, because remember, Amber testified that she have a lot of problems with skin. So she have really sensitive skin, who usually happen between 3.5 to 1% of the women or the people who does that. And the bruises will be under the eyes. And if the bruises are too big, they can go near to the nose because the blood tend to go down until finally your face reabsorb. Then I didn't know that.
Okay. I didn't know it either. I haven't seen it myself, but I mean, anything's possible, especially if you have thin blood and are prone to bruising.
So let's recap. You says it will be really difficult to cover those kind of bruises if they just happen, if you need to jump on the TV. It would be
It is, especially because I'm not sure, but I think it's like 16 times HD or 8 times HD now. So you can see it in person. It's hard to cover up bruising because then you're putting spot treatment there, and then you're trying to cover it up, and there's not spot treatment elsewhere. So there's going to be a border of where the makeup stops, where the extra makeup stops. So you can see it because it's different than the areas around it. It is. And it's almost, and I believe that, I have a high definition television. I don't see all of the pores. I don't see all of the detail. Our eye doesn't perceive like the camera does. The camera amplifies everything. So it would be really difficult, more so to cover up bruising. A little cut in the lips, I think that would be easy, but you might see the texture again if they zoom in close enough.
Dawn, thank you very much. And for the people know, you have been awarded 5 years on the road of the best, one of the best makeup artists in Chicago. So congratulations for this year again.
Thank you very much. And for those of you who don't know, I also did makeup on Windy City Live for 2 years. So I have experience with television makeup as well. So yeah, thank you.
That's the reason you're our expert and you are on the team. Love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, then bye.
Profiling a customer is the challenge sales reps face every day. What if I tell you you can read anyone in 90 seconds? What if I tell you it can be done? Come to learn with us, Human Behavior Hacker School.
Now, in this one, yes, we're going to talk. On the interview with Dawn and with other experts, we did the testimonials and comments during the videos, but in this one, we're going to be alert because it's only a minute. Pay attention to this examination. It's not even cross-examination. Pay attention to this video. Who actually,
This is a cross-examination because
yeah.
it was Camille that asking the questions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But Susan, you got your things wrong. Oh, wait, had done. You see? I need to get my things done together. Here we go.
Did you have training and experience dealing with injuries or covering up bruising on people? Do you have any specific experience or education?
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
How about swelling? Same question.
I mean, it's a little harder to cover swelling. That would be maybe, try to bring the swelling down. Covering it up would be harder.
I don't know if you remember what Dawn says on her comments. It's easier to do bruises than covering bruises. So you can go to Law and Crime TV, you can go to many channels and see all the testimony. We don't want to waste your time. But with that happened, then we spent all week analyzing the language, and we spent all week analyzing pieces of testimony that I don't know how they missed that and how they didn't bring it to like, okay, you are Amber. You did in the first testimony she did the first day on the character testimony, she was talking about that she started doing makeup for other people and herself. So she knows about makeup. Second of all, the person who has been doing her makeup and was doing the makeup during the time supposedly the pictures were taken and on the time the bruises happened, she says, I'm an expert doing bruises and covering bruises. Can you explain why that is so alarming? Lawyers, are you there? Pay attention.
Okay, people. Here's one thing. When someone asks you a question and you need to specify things, the order matter. Why? Because she could be saying like, I know how to cover bruises. I know how to cover bruises and make bruises. But she didn't say that. She said, I know how to make bruises. The order is important. Why? Because you put in the first place the things that is the most important.
And by the way, that wasn't the question.
No.
Rewind this video, and the question is, if she is able to cover bruises, nobody asked her if she can be doing bruises and can be painting bruises, or the bruises are being able to get done on a special effects. Basically, she says what she shouldn't be saying first. That's the reason, people, you need to prepare your experts. You think that because somebody knows what they know, they're going to be saying in the right way?
Nope.
No.
And you can see that the second question, she start with, I know how to cover. So you see?
The first part shouldn't have been happening. Again, let's do this. We're going to put it again so you can hear it. And we're going to do the final comment on this. Because again, people, and I know you guys are fascinated with the body language micro expressions, and most people do not pay attention to the words. The words, I would say, if I need to pay attention to any channel, I would pay attention to the face, because this is the body language of your brain.
Mhm.
Your face is the body language of your brain. So I would pay attention to face reading, micro expressions, and words. But if I need to choose two, it's going to be face reading
and words.
Yes. So let's see the video again and pay attention to what she says. And I think we put it warning again
So you
enough
can-
so you can listen to that.
Did you have training and experience dealing with injuries or covering up bruising on people? Do you have any specific experience or education?
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Specific experience, I have experience in doing bruises and cover bruises for special effect.
How about
Okay, do you hear that? It's not edited. It's not edited in a way that we make her say that. The question is if she have experience covering bruises, and what she says,
I have experience making bruises.
doing bruises, making bruises. It's kind of the same, but that's the point. Be careful when you put an expert on the stand. Now that we talk about face reading, we have a new program called Face Reading Profiling. It's 6 months of classes with group coaching 2 times a month or more now because we have too many students. And these coaching classes, if you cannot participate, the good news is you can send the questions in advance. It's going to be recorded in video and audio, uploaded to the students' dashboard so you can see it. You have support, you have homework every Friday. So if you want to learn really the art of face reading profiling, this is the class that you need to be paying attention. Now, did you know the difference between donation and pledge before this show? Maybe yes, maybe no, but apparently she doesn't.
No.
And the lawyers doesn't know either. Come on, they need to know that she didn't donate the money. And they let her testify that she did. But because we are not the expert, and again, it's too many people talking about things they don't understand. And let's clarify, we're not against or favor any of those on the trial, neither the expert, the witness, Amber, Johnny Depp, or the lawyers. We're just telling you what we see. We bring our expert, and our expert is Tracy Cohenen, Sequence Inc. Forensic Accounting. She specializes and finds things that nobody wants them to find, and to find hidden money. But most important, she's going to explain us why and how the difference between both. And we did in this segment editing between Amber Heard testimony, the house that you don't pay, and we're not going to go deeper because we went to the example with her and testimony. So this is around 15 minutes video. If you, for any reason, you don't want to hear what Amber Heard says and Tracy is explaining, you can move forward. But let me tell you this, if you do that, you're going to miss important information, because she talked about things that even I have the best accountant in the world, I didn't know about it.
Me neither.
So Tracy, kudos to you. Thank you very much for being with us. Listen to this testimony and the video on the cross-examination of Amber Heard. Tracy, my Sherlock Holmes in forensic accounting. How you doing?
I'm fabulous, Susan. How are you?
Great. What you don't know, you don't know. So what is forensic accounting?
So a forensic accountant finds money. So I do fraud investigations. Really, really simple. Well, the work isn't that simple, but explaining what I do and just saying I find money is simple, isn't it?
Yeah, and most important, when people try to hide it, and divorce and situations and lawsuit, and that's the reason we bring you today.
That's true. So whenever there's a complicated money situation and we have to unravel that, I like to say, a puzzle of numbers. I will put that puzzle together, or I will unravel things if it's all confused. There's a lot of great ways that you can describe forensic accounting.
What is the difference between donation and pledge money?
So when you are pledging the money, you are giving a promise to pay it to a charity. When you are making the donation, you are actually paying the money to the charity. So she did not make a donation. She made a pledge. She made a promise to pay, which, as we know, she did not follow through on for whatever reasons that she has said in court. She has said, I couldn't do it because I had gotten sued. The media was saying she didn't pay it because she was having financial troubles, but she did not make a donation. She made a pledge, a promise to pay.
It's any physical or legal obligation when you do a pledge to donate money?
It really depends. There are certain situations where you make a pledge and you might actually sign a type of contract where you are agreeing to pay the money. And that might be in a situation, let's say, where an organization is going to construct a very expensive building and they are seeking donations to help pay for the cost of that building. And they need to have some legal assurance that that money is going to come in. And so they might actually have you sign a legal document where you are, agreeing on paper to make that donation. But most of the time, for the average person, it's more just you're making a promise, and is there a legal obligation there? Not really. And my word is my bond, but not so for everyone.
She made an example when she tried to justify unjustifiable. And because, by the way, she went to the media, said, I donate the money. I, a great person, I did it.
Is that the statement you released, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
The statement reads, as described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity, and in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves. As reported in the media, the amount received in the divorce was $7 million, and $7 million is being donated. This is over and above any funds that I have given away in the past and will continue to give away in the future. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct.
Mr. Depp donated $100,000 of the divorce settlement directly to the ACLU. Is that right?
Right at the beginning of the divorce settlement, he donated $100,000 to each charity on my behalf or towards my contribution.
So $100,000 to the ACLU.
And to the Children's Hospital.
And in response, you publicly demanded that Mr. Depp pay the divorce settlement directly to you instead of the charities, right?
That was always the agreement, actually, is for him to pay me directly. It was not his money as per the settlement agreement to give away and reap a tax benefit from. I said if he wants to do it and give to charity all of a sudden, then he should pay the correct amount and not try to get a big tax break for it. So effectively for his tax bracket, he should be paying double that amount to the charity directly. And if he wanted to pay the charity directly, he could. He could do that, was fine with me, but he would need to pay the adjusted amount.
Ultimately, the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement was paid directly to you, right?
Over time, yes.
And Mr. Depp didn't end up paying the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement directly to the charities you identified.
That is correct. He paid the installments to me.
You stopped that from happening, didn't you?
I don't understand what your question is. I'm sorry.
You stopped Mr. Depp from paying the charities that you had named directly.
That is incorrect. I said if you want to pay the charities directly, pay the adjusted amount, or pay as per our agreement in the settlement or in the divorce, as per our agreement.
You also
and he chose to do the former, not the latter. I mean, the other way around.
You also publicly stated that the $7 million divorce settlement should be paid to the charities immediately in full, right?
If he wanted to pay it in the way that he was suggesting, yes.
And you said publicly that the payments to the charities should not be drawn out over many years, right?
I said that, I don't recall the exact words that I used, but basically that he shouldn't use this as a novel interest in getting a tax break, that if he wanted to do that and not pay me the settlement, that was fine, but he would have to pay the adjusted amount and not make it, a commitment he would not fulfill or try to avoid in some other way.
And that's because you wanted the entire world to think that you were donating every penny of the $7 million divorce settlement as soon as you received it from Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
No, I was going to be receiving it in installments, and I would be paying in installments the donations.
In fact, you released a statement in response to Mr. Depp's $100,000 donations to the ACLU and CHLA, didn't you?
I don't recall.
The statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news. And it continues. However, if Johnny wishes to change the settlement agreement, we must insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber. And it continues. We would also insist that the full amount be paid immediately and not drawn out over many years. Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote. Okay. You spoke about donating your divorce settlement on a Danish TV show, correct?
I believe I said I had, I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You appeared on a show called RTL Late Night.
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. Yeah. It's called the American Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard
I wanted nothing.
The $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
So the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016, and that's $200,000, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would agree with me?
That is correct.
Okay. And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp?
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote, right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the settlement, $7 million to charity, and I intend to fulfill those obligations.
That's not my question. Please,
what was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard, I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Heard, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today, you have not donated paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct, I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after. You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct, I pledged the entirety.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Heard?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question, sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement...
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Heard,
entire house
Ms. Heard,
at one time.
respectfully,
You pay it
I'm
over
not asking,
time.
Ms. Heard.
All right. She did give the example that it's like when you're buying a house. You give a down payment, but you don't pay the house in advance. But what she didn't consider, and I think it was one mistake in the cross-examination to make the jurors understand, the person who's selling the house get all the money. And in this case, the only person having all the money was her.
That's right. I think that's brilliant on your part. The house, good try at finding an example, but it isn't quite right because the person who is supposed to be receiving the money does receive it, and the transaction is different. There's a bank involved, and that's why the buyer isn't paying all the money up front and is paying the bank in installments. So this is a little bit different. You're right.
She was saying that he need to donate, if he gonna do it on installments and under his name, 14 millions instead to 7 millions. And the way she justify it is because she says, I don't want him to have the tax credit for this exemption. And the way it's phrased, I phrase it like she said it, but doesn't mean that it's correct.
Right. So if he were to give $7 million to a charity on his tax return, he can take a deduction for that $7 million. So he will reduce his taxable income by $7 million and therefore reduce how much he pays in taxes. I assume she figures that between the state taxes and the federal income taxes, that would save him, in this case, $7 million donated, it would probably save him about 50% of that in taxes. So she's saying, well, I want you to be out of pocket that full $7 million. So you have to go give the charity $14 million. You'll get to pay $7 million less in taxes than you normally would have. So you'll still be out of pocket $7 million. And that makes me happy. How confusing was that?
No, because this is not a case about the money, about the case. It's about the media repercussion and how people perceive it.
Right. Well, and so she was perceived very positively, right? I have donated $7 million to charity. You see, I did not profit at all from this divorce. I don't want his money. Well, the truth that we now find out is that she never did donate that money. So she really did, put money in her pocket from the divorce.
What happens if I make a pledge and you decide to donate the money under my name? So Tracy Conan decide to donate $100 to a nonprofit. Who get the tax credit? You, me, or both?
So the tax deduction is going to go to whoever the charity gives the receipt to. So if they give receipt for a donation in your name, then you can take the deduction. If they give receipt for a donation in my name, then I can take the deduction.
Now we start seeing what is going on with here. Tracy, any other enlightenment that you want to give the people? And please tell us about, because sometimes people cannot afford to go to a forensic accountant, but you have a new product who help people.
For people who don't know a whole lot about numbers, but I have the Divorce Money Guide coming out in June of 2022. And it is to help divorcing people who have suspicions about the money take a look at those numbers. And so it walks them through a 10-step process to understand that financial piece of their divorce, get their financial documents, and then know what to do with them once they have them. So I'm pretty excited because it's going to be able to help a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't be able to retain a forensic accountant.
I wish I had you on my divorce.
So many people do, and I wish I had been there to help you, Susan.
Tracy, thank you very much, love. See you next.
Thanks for having me.
Tracy, thank you very much again. Like always, you enlightened our knowledge. I didn't know that you have a way to do a pledge where you need to sign the contract. I didn't know that.
Me neither. But you know what? It's like when you donate something, you already did the action to do it. Like you pay it. But when you pledge, it's like, I just have the intention to do it.
Yeah. And now it's Johnny's fault because he sued her. But the truth to be told, I don't recall, it was like 13 or 16 months after she received the money.
Yes.
And actually, he donated money in her name. She put it on the divorce settlement, and she was so worried about the tax exemption, and actually it's a credit. So those are the things that we need to pay attention on the words. And great cross-examination, Camille. You have people like Emily out there that Emily, oh my God, Baker. Emily Baker. Emily, we love you. We're going to send you this video only to know how much we love you. We love our channel. She had conversations with you. She's been watching.
And you answer to me. Yes.
Yeah, she spent all weekend watching you like glued to the monitor. Emily Baker, we love you. We love the show. We love that you're calm, because two dyslexic people to keep on pace with things like that is complicated.
Yes.
So if you want to hear what other lawyers saying from the legal standpoint, go for it. We are behavioral people and we talk about behavior. And sometimes when the expert met with the behavior, it's important to bring the expert because we don't want to put the notes in things that we don't know and we don't have expertise. But again, second time, that words are more important than body language and micro expressions. I would say in these last two videos, even words were more important than face reading.
Me too. I agree with you. Yes.
For our words nerds like Lena Cisco out there, being light. Now, if you want to learn face reading, but like, oh my God, 6 months classes, 2-year commitment.
Too long.
It's too long. What they can do?
You can go to Face Reading Profiling, 10 features in 10 days.
In 2 weeks, you're going to be ready to go and be able to profile with the basic in 90 seconds. I would say 70% of the students who registered to this class, they already moved to the pro. This is an intro, like we get them all lured. And when they're like, oh God, I want to learn more.
Give me more.
Well, that's when you go to the pro.
Yes.
And by the way, when you take the 10 and 10 days, you have a credit to move to pro. If you want to do it, all that information is in the class. More than happy, you can make a call with us to go over the step. 10 features and 10 days is another way to learn face reading. Now, can you tell? Can you? How many times during this week you have heard the word metadata, cell phones, and pictures? Well, guess what? Again, we bring our expert, our dear Mark is our nerd for technology. You must love Mark.
Yes, I love him.
And he wasn't wearing the bow tie today, but he always wear a bow tie. He's amazing. He's from Discovery Engineer, Forensic Engineer, Applied Research. Mark McFarland, he lived in Boulder, Colorado. We never met in person, but we have done a couple of things together, and to me is one of the best. And on top of that, he's an expert who testifies in court. So let's listen to Mark about you can determine, you can tell when, where, and who took a picture just by analyzing the picture. Guess what he says?
Yes.
Mark, how you doing? You're my nerd forensic engineer. How you doing today?
Great, Susan. Good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Okay, You are the kind of guy who can find everything everywhere. If you're texting during an accident and you says you wasn't texting, if somebody says I wasn't there, you can pin the towers. You're like the 007 for technology and pinning and metadata, and you're an expert witness in court too.
Yes, Susan, I am an expert witness also. I work on civil and criminal cases nationwide.
Okay, let's go to the juicy part of today. We have the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, and she's been presenting pictures, and you don't need to see the pictures to talk about what is going on in the back, because when you're in a lawsuit, depending on the need of the cross-examination, you go deeper or not. But most people has been hearing like metadata, how we can know the pictures has been taken or not, if they're taken on the cell phone and a camera, and just happen, that is your specialty. If somebody says, I took the picture in May 20, 2019, you can go to the picture and find out when really that picture was taken.
Yeah, certainly the pictures themselves have they have information tied to them, and that's what's called the metadata. It's data about data. So the data really is the picture and what's in the image, and then we have some data about that. And if you take it using your phone, it would include the date. If you have your location on and have those settings all set up, it would include the location.
It's called geolocation, no? I hear that
have
term.
Some geolocation, so it would have a GPS, longitude and latitude tag to it, a timestamp, and then it would also have information like your f-stop on your camera, the shutter speed, the different settings on your camera would be recorded on there also, and then the size of the image, the file it's saved on. That's all the metadata, all that data about the data.
Can you determine who took the picture? Is any way to determine if she took the pictures with her phone or somebody else used their phone to take the pictures?
That would depend on how long ago it happened, and if things were still available on the phone and how things were saved. Maybe there'd be a way to backtrack and find that. It would depend on a lot of different circumstances, really.
Do you gonna need the picture sent to you in any specific file, or you need the picture on the original phone to find out?
If it's a qualified duplicate, I can work with the copy, bit for bit copies, and I can just receive the copy of the photo.
Is, for example, somebody is modifying the picture and they present in a picture who is being photoshopped or enhanced. Can you determine that too, or that is going to be another expertise?
That's something that can be determined, but I could to some extent. But there's people who that's really their expertise, and I think there's people who are especially more focused on that.
Yeah, but the most important in this case would be to determine if the pictures are taken at the time and day they were claimed to be taken.
Yeah, that's something that's something I would definitely be able to do, and that's in the metadata, and that's there for anyone to see, really, too. If you have there's a lot of different applications that can read that data for you to see.
What other information we can observe in a picture when it's presented in a case? What other useful information you can get in a picture that maybe hasn't been presented in this case? Or what other expertise you have that you can testify in court regarding this?
You could maybe, if things were changed, if you have two different images, if there's two competing images, or you could look in the picture and find, if you have the GPS tag location on that, you can determine maybe something close to the time of day, or I guess you would have that, but you can. Look at the shadows and different things like that and learn different things. And in terms of the actual metadata that's there, you could learn a lot about the camera and the camera settings. And there's still more information in there too, and about the file it's saved and formats and different things like that.
We have people who does a lot of dark web and SEO, but they cannot be doing an interview now because they're our own team, so we cannot put it in camera. But we were talking about they have an expert talking about media, and they wanted to determine who has been more damaged for the media published. And one of the things that come up when we were watching that material to edit it for this show is that, can you determine if the accounts who are putting hashtag Johnny Depp is innocent, Amber Heard is a liar, whatever, has been sent from the same account, has been saved by robots, if they're fake account, they were created only to exacerbate the things on the media?
Yeah, to put a really fine point on this question, Susan, the answer is maybe. It's really hard to know, hard to tell, and to see what information you have. They may have been using a VPN. It's hard to trace back anything without that. People can make up, fake accounts anytime make up an email address, an account, and so it depends on how much time and really money you have to go through each kind of hop that this information goes through until you get a final post to verify each step of the way, and it'd be very difficult to do.
Yeah, because one of the things is like all these campaigns done out there is like done in a way only to benefit certain parts. So all that things that we saw in the movies, that somebody grab a keyword and suddenly they can find if you wire money, if you board a plane, that is not that simple. It's like when people hire us to do a work and says, well, I want to know X and Y in the next 24 hours. Like, wait, this is not TV. This is reality. We can do a lot of things, and our experts can do a lot of things like you can do, but it's not that simple. And people have a line where they don't understand what is the illusion of Hollywood and what is the reality where you can work. Because you as an expert on court, you cannot break any law to do things to be an expert and be testifying.
Right. Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
So what else are the things that can be found due to metadata and to forensic electronic and telecom engineer, Mark?
What other things can be found? Well, and you think of metadata in terms of information that your phone produces metadata as to where you were. The phone carrier records that metadata. So your phone has a whole bunch of information and metadata on you, where you were, what you were doing, whom you were communicating with. So that's a lot of information that's stored.
So if, for example, one of them says, I was with X and Y in this restaurant when this event happened, because what happened in her case, she had a lot of witnesses who are dead, just conveniently dead. And she says, well, this person was on the room with us. And the other side says, no, that person wasn't on the room. If you have the physical phone of that person, you can determine is that true or not?
It depends on how long ago it happened, what was being saved on the phone. It may not always be there. A lot of times it is. Sometimes you might have luck looking at people save their Google location history and things like that. And that's something that, can be downloaded, and you can look, the user himself could download something like that, or maybe you can get access to an account somehow to download and look at that. And then the phone, the cell carrier, the tower that you connected to, your cell phone was connected to, that collects information and data on you. And that they don't keep it for a very long time, but it is there for some time about where, you were at that. Here's the location when you received this text or this phone call. It would record time and location normally.
So to wrap it up, if they want to know if Amber Heard took the pictures on the day and time she says she did, it can be discovered and presented in court.
Yes, it can, to a reasonable degree of certainty. Absolutely.
Mark, thank you very much. We missing anything?
I think that's it, Susan. We covered a good bit of it here.
Did you know the things that Mark says? I didn't
know. I didn't know. I think there's a lot of things that think of this trial we can know.
Yeah, and the crazy part is people have this myth about what things can be done, that you're going to have a keyword and you're going to find out who wire money, whether they are not. technology changed so fast. The people like Mark, they need to be preparing and training themselves every day. That's the reason we bring experts who testify in court, because they need to be on top of the things to be testifying, because they can grill you. And we're going to see how they grill one of the experts who's supposed to be saving Amber and defamation, and how much money she lost and how bad the media treat her. They destroy him. So being testifying in court is really risky. One of the reasons we don't do it. We don't need anybody to tell us what we know, because we know what we know. Mark, thank you very much. And for all of you who think that you can put a picture in a scanner like CSI and all the series, is not how the real work works. So sorry if we punch your balloon, but the idea was to bring people who really knows what they talk. Again, be careful when people give you absolutes or people says they've been able to talk about everything, because you're an expert on the channel that you are. Don't go out there talking about things that you don't know. Okay, talking about metadata. We want to know where you are located. Let us know where you're watching us. Let us know where you are located. Let us know if you watch us live for you, no live for us, yes, recorded when the show go up, or if you are watching on the weekend. We know it's amazing how many views we have on the weekend with people having coffee or a really nice glass of scotch.
Yes, but on Friday, people get fired.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yes.
Thank you very much. If you're watching us on Saturday, we love it.
Yes.
Now, this is the part that I like the most of the show today, beside the language about broken bed. What? Media perception. We talk with Natalie Harris about what is a defamation case, what are the bases for a defamation case, and why this case is happening. So even though we have the lawsuit that Johnny Depp did in England in July 2020, the defamation case now is bringing to the United States. The defamation case he did in England was against the newspaper who published the piece. But like Natalie Harris told us, we can link on the top. I don't know where the eye is going to go with the car. So you can see Natalie Harris explaining why can be done in England, but not in the United States, because in the United States, we have the First Amendment. So they're not going to be suing probably the newspaper here. But what happened is people start picking on her, saying, wait a minute, you're not the person who you portray you are, and maybe John is not that bad as he is. Sorry. So what Amber team did, they have the brilliant idea to bring an expert on media to what? For all the hashtags and all the tweet and all the information out there. But before that, just happened that last Sunday, two things happened on the media who got our attention. First, we found out that people is collecting signatures and change.org to get Amber Heard removed completely from Aquaman 2.
Yes.
What happened with this is that they need to get 4.5 million signatures. By the day, on Thursday, we collect these images. There were like 250 about to get the signatures. So this has been happening since 2020, the defamation and the hashtag against Amber and in favor of Johnny Depp. Now, the same day that this was published on Sunday, that they almost have the 4.5 million signature, Jerry Buchenheimer says, Johnny Depp is not going to go back to Pirates of the Caribbean 6. What is going to be his future on this sequence of events? We don't know. The future is yet not to decide. They're not going to remove the franchising, but he's not going to be on the Pirates of the Caribbean. Actually, he is going to be replaced by a lady. So I don't know how they're going to play this. But it's funny that the day before, the Amber is going to be cross-examination with Camille lawyers. This piece on the media show up. And let's make it to understand. One of the claims that Johnny Depp is going against Amber Heard is that he lost X amount of money for the piece op that she published. One day before, just happened this piece show up. I don't believe in coincidence.
Me neither.
I do believe that somebody's trying to help him. Nothing wrong with that. Is help to be happen. I think Johnny have more help than she have. But after that, then bring a media expert saying like, oh, poor Amber, she's been losing work. She's been mistreated on the media for the hashtag and the number of hashtag happening. Only to give you a context, the jury have instructions that even though they have 10 days between trials and depots and cross-examination, they shouldn't be either talking with anyone about the case, about talking about anybody's perception about the case, and they cannot be Googling and watching the media. What rock you can be living under to not know what happened with Amber and Johnny versus Amber?
Yes.
Now, will you decide to bring an expert on the media saying the person who is being sued is hate from everywhere, everyone? And wait, not now during this trial. Since July 2020, hashtag saying that she is a bitch, she's a liar, she's a man abuser has been happening. So if any of the jurors did what they supposed to be doing and not checking the media, guess what happened now?
Now they know what is out there about Amber and Johnny.
What is wrong? Seriously, I think Amber lawyers are working for Johnny team.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Guys,
And you know what? Even before all of this, there were already a hashtag saying, and the experts saying in the trial, that justice for Johnny Depp.
yeah. So before the trial. So if people is on gossip, me personally, I didn't know this hashtag is happening since July 2020. I didn't know. I found out, thanks to the media, the Amber Heard team bring to testify. Guys, get your things together. You be the judge and let us know what you think.
So you testified that you reviewed a number of hashtags that you deemed were negative towards Ms. Heard. That's right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the four you picked, at least the negative ones, justice for Johnny Depp, that's one of them, right?
That's right.
Amber Heard is an abuser. That's one of them.
That is one of them.
We just don't like you, Amber. That's one of them.
That is one of them.
And the last one was Amber Turd, right?
That is another one.
Were in existence before Mr. Waldman made the first statement in April 2020, right?
That's correct.
Right.
In very small number.
But justice for Johnny Depp has been around since 2013, correct?
That sounds correct.
Yeah. Amber Heard is an abuser, and Amber Turd first appeared in 2016, correct?
I don't recall, actually.
Right. Do you recall if there was any portion of Mr. Waldman's statement that made any reference to Amber Turd?
Not that I've seen.
Right. This is yours, right?
Correct.
Yeah. The biggest spikes, by far the biggest spikes here, are attributable to what hashtag?
Justice for Johnny Depp hashtag.
In your chart, didn't 980,000 of these plus belong to justice for Johnny Depp?
That sounds about right. You'd have to show me, but I'll take your word for it.
All right. But the vast majority of them were justice for Johnny Depp.
A majority of them were.
Well, it wasn't the majority so large that you had to draw another chart?
The reason for drawing another chart is because the numbers were high at particular points, so you wouldn't be able to see the other hashtags.
Right. Literally, this is your chart, and all of the other activity at the bottom you can barely see in comparison to the hashtag justice for Johnny Depp.
Right. As I testified, you can barely see them because of the spikes in the justice for Johnny Depp hashtag, but when you look at the other chart, you can see that those others are still very large numbers.
And so you identified all of these hashtags as negative towards Miss Heard, right?
Right.
Justice for Johnny Depp is not negative towards Miss Heard, is it?
No, but the tweets that use that hashtag are.
No, but the hashtag itself, the hashtag that predominates through your analysis is not, in fact, negative towards Miss Heard.
I'm not opining on the hashtag itself. I'm talking about the tweets that contain that hashtag.
But the hashtag itself is not negative.
That's not part of my opinion, one way or the other.
Do you have an opinion as to whether justice for Johnny Depp is a good thing?
That's not part of my assignment.
Okay, but you'll agree with me justice in general is a good thing?
Big fan of justice.
All right, me too. No further questions.
You see?
Okay, let's stop sharing for a second. And don't worry, don't start jumping on the couch if you didn't hear this before. We're gonna put it again. Strategic wise, from a core perspective, is emphasize justice for Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny Depp. The chart is so big for justice for Johnny Depp that you need to make a second chart. Why they mention 3 times 3 different hashtags. People don't like in Amber, but one for Johnny, and a compound question, Lena, don't kill me, is why he says to the expert, by the way, do you think justice is good? Yeah, a big fan of justice. You talk.
You know, okay, if you can see how many times in 15 minutes, because that was the cross-examination, he say justice for Johnny Depp. Like 8. You can see how he start putting the word justice for Johnny Depp because the jury didn't know before here. So the jury start remember like, okay, justice for Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny Depp. So if you start saying something too many times, it's going to stick in your head.
Yeah. And again, it's justice for Johnny Depp one time and 3 different hashtags about her. And when it says, well, what was your assignment? Things that we didn't put in this cross-examination is that, okay, what information was given to you in order to do this report? Well, I didn't know who they were until the last moment. So I don't have any doubt. This is an amazing expert. Actually, when I hear his certification and his knowledge about the subject, I will bring it as an expert in a case that I'm working with. I think he's great. I don't think he was well prepared. I don't think he have all the information. They were under the impression if they don't give them all the information, maybe he's not going to be biased. He's going to do a better job for them, but actually sucks.
Yes.
Really sucks.
Yes.
Exposing an expert to that publicly is not a good way for the expert. It's not fair, guys. And again, you just served in silver plate to Johnny Depp team to remind the jurors the Amber Heard is not being liked for a long, long time, and Johnny Depp is being liked by people. Tan Su and the R word used to say, thank you, Train, again. Tan Su says, if your enemy have a temper, provoke them. Yes. And don't do anything. Never, ever apologize for a thing that you haven't done. You know why? Because behavioral wise and linguistic, what happened if, hey, Elba, sorry that I slapped your kid when she took the candy. Wait a minute, you slapped my kid when she took the candy? You see the face like, you slapped my kid when she took the candy? When I apologizing, when I trying to justify a situation, the only thing you do is embrace the situation. If you're not responsible, if you don't do anything wrong, do not apologize. Do not try to justify other people's actions because the only thing that people is going to see in you is why you need to do it. For example, if somebody says something bad about you, guess what? Or you talk bad about someone, what is going to happen language-wise if it says, I don't like Elba. Elba doesn't do the bed in the morning. Elba doesn't cook. The only thing people is going to know is why you notice all those things in Elba is because you have it on you and maybe Elba doesn't have it. So give an example to make me look bad.
Okay. Why? Okay.
Okay, come on. You have a lot of things to make me look bad.
Yes, I don't think so.
Oh, come on, you're the worst partner. So what happened is when you justify things, you give the other people to use it against you. What happened with Amber team is they give all the ammunition to Johnny, again, for maybe the older population on the jurors, then I understand they're pretty young. Is like, oh, she haven't been liking since 2013, 2016, 2020. It's not about this. And he gave the lawyer who was doing the cross-examination to this poor guy. Again, I adore him because I think he's a nerd and he's not, he had been testifying before, but I wasn't ready for this grilling on this media situation. But the only thing they give them to the Johnny Depp team is like justice for Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Amber liar, Amber abused. I think from all the videos that I see this week, the only words that are embedded in my head are those words.
Justice for Johnny Depp. See?
You like the words. You're my little Lina.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, it's like you need to be careful what you are saying, because in some point that he said, I adapt the words of, I don't remember the name of the guy that we were talking about. And it's like,
Chanel. I have the notes.
Why you need to adapt
Ron
things?
Chanel.
And I was like, why you need to adapt things?
And okay, I'm going to give it to you because I know you love the words. When the lawyer, Johnny Depp lawyer, bad with names, my apologies, says, asking about the hashtag and says, well, the hashtags are bad. And Chanel says, no, the tweeters containing the hashtag are bad. And what happened after?
And it's after, it's like, okay, so it's not a bad hashtag?
No, the tweet containing the hashtag. So nobody's responsible. I can put hashtag burn the tree. No, the one burning the tree and replying the hashtag. I do know in legal settings is that instigation, and I will not going to take the responsibility on that. But this has been rolling for so long. Who can determine? And Mark says, finding who started the tweets, who started the thread, what accounts are fake or not. By the way, do you know that Elon Musk is planning to pull the trigger in Twitter for the amount of fake accounts in Twitter? If you want to know about Twitter and Elon Musk, again, I don't know where the cars are going to be posted, but we talk about Elon Musk and Twitter, but it's impossible or almost impossible, depending how long and how old are the traits, to determine how many accounts are fake. So this, I think, was a huge blow scenario to try to make Amber Heard to look like she is being punished by the media and she's losing more than Johnny Depp. And what happened at the end? Who won that cross-examination?
Johnny Depp, because what they were complaining about, the reputation of Amber Heard because of these bad tweets. But at the end of the day, what is bad?
Sometimes people talking about you is good. Again, you never know.
Selling is a craft and a science. Come to learn with us the superpower behind behavior for sales. Human Behavior Hacker School.
Again, if you want to learn face reading, profiling, we have a pro program. Is 6 months. There are 6 months of classes, coaching, support. We're going to be recording the coaching classes, and the support is going to be for 2 years. Starting something on a weekend for 2 days, paying $5,000 and not having any support, guess what? When you're on the plane coming back home, you don't remember what happened. This is a community with people all around the world where you can match with other people, understand each other, know a lot about other cultures, how other people learn face reading and reading each other's faces. I love the part of the community, and most of the students who says, I can learn this from a book, when they get to the classes, says the best part of the class, I don't know if I feel good or bad about that, is the community. They can support you. Language. Oh God.
You accommodate yourself.
Yeah, that is a pacifier.
Yes.
Whatever you want to say. Like language. We have one of the teasers where she says, I love Johnny. No, I love Johnny. it's happening so many times. We're not going to go there because we don't have enough times in a day to edit all this part. But there are other things who can tell you, it can show you why language is so important. And Steve Fredson, I hope you're watching because you teased me on LinkedIn. Steve Fredson is a lawyer and a lawyer's coach. He says, now I want to see this.
Yes.
Now I want to see this.
So what happened before?
Yeah, Steve, we analyze language, so we're going to talk to you. So what happened with language and minimizing and exacerbating language? We do a lot of presentations in law firms to explaining what we do and how we do it. And one of the presentations is, depending on the questions you do and how you do it, you can change the perception of the jury, of the witness, but most important, what we talked about before about the media expert, how he was using Justice for Johnny Depp, only one hashtag with millions of hashtags. By the way, they were in Spanish, in French, in Portuguese. Every language you can imagine. There are pages and pages in change.org. Go Johnny Depp, and you're going to see how many petitions they have. People try to get in one because you have too many, you're diverse, your signatures. But Johnny Depp have good, one is positive, and she have 3 negative. So that's how you manipulate language. And yes, you manipulate language depending how you use it. And we're going to see why we're talking about. If you were too confused for you, because we're tired to put in this show together, why we have been spending 12 hours a day watching things only for being sitting with you for 2 hours talking about.
You testified that during the incident on December 15, 2015, Mr. Depp broke the bed, correct?
That is correct.
And more specifically, you described that he broke the bed frame with his boot while trying to get purchase. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 509, which is already in evidence. If we could please have that published to the jury. Thank you. Mr. This is a picture that you indicated depicts the broken bed, right?
That's exactly it.
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp caused this damage to the bed with his boot, right?
He did.
Is that a pocket knife on the bed there?
I cannot tell what's on the bed.
Did you use that to damage the bed?
I did not damage the bed. Johnny's boot did when he was punching me. I could feel him slipping.
Okay. Before we go to a study done by Elizabeth Lothwood that we have been using for around 4 or 5 years to talk to lawyers to make them understand why it's so important, why a lawyer need to hire a linguistic person, and why the words that we use and other people use. If I says, I poke you on the shoulder, I push you on the shoulder, I punch you on the shoulder, what do you think without seeing the scene? Again, close your eyes. I poke you on the shoulder. I punch you on the shoulder. I touch you on the shoulder. Without seeing the action, the emphasis I'm going on the word is what I'm going to create the action when you're replicating a situation, either when you take a testimony, when you do a policing situation, or when you're in a legal setting. Elba?
Yes. It's like, okay, let's put it this. You can see one thing here. She said he broke the bed with his boot. Okay. Now, they are referring to the broken bed. Then you can see how Camille changed the language and said damage. And she repeated, I didn't damage the bed. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. Before you say broke,
she put the boot on her own mouth.
Yes. And then you said damage. If you have the incident like in your mind, you will keep going with the same. You don't need to change the language.
If they're your words,
no,
you're not going to adapt anybody's words.
No,
correct?
You don't need to do it. So, okay, broke the bed, it's something that you almost destroy. But damage the bed, it's something that you can fix in an easy way.
If I says, I broke your door, what is your first reaction? You need to call a person to replace the door,
yes,
or you need to fix it?
I need to call a person to fix my door because you broke it. It's damaged. It's already broken.
But if
and
I
it's
say
destroyed.
I damage your door, what is the next question? How big is the damage?
How big is that? Can I fix it? It's not the same. So you need to be careful, and that's how you can see.
Or no, you need to be careful. Or no, depending what you get.
Well, yeah, that's a good one.
It wasn't a love affair. It was an entanglement.
Oh yeah, entanglement. Really? So you need to be careful, and you can see how important are the words. Why? Because you can see how you can change it, and if the person there's something that is missing there, or something that is not like truthful, you can change it. And that was Camille did. He changed the language, and she
manipulated the language.
Yes, I have that. You read my mind. I know. You read my mind. I know. That's how we learn to manipulate people. Yeah, based on the language. That's how you can do it.
Persuasion, manipulation and persuasion happen. You can use this for good or bad, but the truth to be told, if I keep telling you like, oh yeah, well, I want to have an open marriage, it's not cheating on you because I told you about it. Doesn't mean that you approve on it. If I says I broke the bed and actually it was a splint. Again, these testimonials are really, really long. We don't have all day. We are not the kind of YouTuber who have 8 hours a day because we have a job every day who can go to all the testimony, but we're going to be poking things. And from now on, we're going to do that for other cases because people you asking for like how you can mix face reading with other behavior. Like, here we go. Bring an expert, not talking about things that we don't know. We're going to keep doing, not in person. She's coming back in 10 days. Yes. But start taking to the next level. Maybe it's so simple like going to the market and you ask, how fresh is this fish? Oh, we always have fresh fish. What is wrong with that? Will you feed that to your kids?
No.
Why?
Because it's not fresh.
Why it's not fresh?
We always have fresh. How do you know?
Yeah, because you're going to say yes, and that's it. It's not replacement for yes or no. When people answer with a compound answer, it's not answer the truth. Most of the time, at least, it's not answer the truth. So if he says broken, pushing, splinting, it's make it different. And we have cases that we have been exposing and showing lawyers all around the world and sales rep, believe it or not, we teaching how to use words to convince people, even in emails, to sales reps, lawyers, and managers, and our successful Shark Tanks presenters. Anything else about this before we go into the study?
Yes, I have a point here.
Okay, yes, sir.
You remember how many times Camille asked Amber, because I don't know for you, but for me I do remember. Wow. I
listened to that.
It's like, how many times Camille asked like a question and the answer is going to be yes or no, and how she deviate the answer to another point. So that's how we can do too. It's like, you need to pay attention what are the questions? Why? Because you need to pay attention what is the answer. If I'm telling you, Susan, I don't know, do you have lunch today?
Lunch, I was working.
You see? She didn't have lunch.
You see?
And you see? Okay, you see the example here?
Oh my God, I didn't realize I did that.
You see?
I'm such a bad liar. No, I did. Oh, wait. Well, I cannot consider lunch because I was in a meeting. Brunch. I was in a meeting and it was between breakfast and lunch. So I have a chicken salad that, by the way, we did together.
But so the lunch?
It was lunch. Yeah.
You see? So you need to be aware about this. You need to be aware about these things.
So you're a lawyer. You want to know how to get the people to confess? Give us a call. Okay, let's go back to the experiment and study, because to me, experiment and study, they're similar, and I don't have any problem with experiment if they don't involve people and animals.
Okay,
I do it under microscope. But this experiment and this study from Elizabeth Lothwood, again, it show how depending on the words we use is the outcome that we can expect. Why are you laughing, bitch? 52 minutes without the
Cut
video.
you.
Eh?
Cut you.
What?
Cut you. I saw your.
Okay. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. I cannot make you start laughing for the examples that we did.
I can't.
Really? What is wrong with you? Behave yourself.
Because we give an example, a whole example of what we are talking about here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know.
And suddenly I'm deaf. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't think so.
No, actually, I have extremely well trained
Yes.
ear. Too good trained. I know when a car or truck is about to stop on the
Yes.
house 1 block before.
Yes, and okay. It's a real example here. We were working in some point, and we were listening a lot of things, and she said, like, I think the car is coming. Which car? I think it's a block away. Which car? They are going to be delivering things. And I was like, huh? And believe me, it was like 1 second.
I'm gonna grow a little.
1 second, 2 seconds. I don't know, but the car was in front of the house. So yes.
Because you can determine for the brake and the clutch if the car is ready to lower the clutch and stop in front of the house. Okay, for 2 years, I blind myself for like an hour or two, and I walk on the house so I can work on my own senses. That's the reason I ended up having the lower lip thicker, because my dog pushed the stair door, and I ended up on the bottom of the stair with my upper lip broken. And my doctor says, what kind of car accident you have? And when I tell the doctor, says, should we call the psychiatrist unit? Like, no, I'm a behavioral expert who want to develop other areas. So I develop my ears and I develop my own senses. So now I can determine what senses are going to want to be connected.
You see, she's not deaf.
How you trick me? You trick me.
You see, you need to pay attention.
I love you the same way I hate you. Okay, study. We're not going to show you all the presentation we do with lawyers, because it wouldn't be fair, because they pay us to do this presentation. But I think it's fair for you to understand what happened. Now, what color is the car that got crashed? Now, if I says, okay, I get that. What color is the car that got crashed? It's good. You're going to say white, yellow, black, and believe me, people do that. In this example, we use a red car and a blue car. When it says what colors the car got crashed, people start thinking about the preferred colors, and they make a correlation with the cars they have, or they had, they hate or love, because hate and love happen in the same part of the brain. But it says, what happened with the blue car got crashed? Nobody doubt the blue crash is the one who got crashed. They're not going to think the red one. So what we do here is usually we separate groups and testing group and mocking jury groups, and how they can be manipulated. Believe me, it's happened, and they can be influenced the way you wanted to make it happen. It says, what happened with the blue car? What happened with the blue car, you assume that is the one who get damaged. So you're going to say, yeah, the blue car was hit by the other car. Wait a minute. My guy, the one I'm defending, is the one who have a blue car, who was driving under the influences. So now you're telling me is the other car who hit my client? Case dismissed, we won. So you need to be careful when you're a juror, when you're bypass standing, the reason why witness and identification of suspect by witness is not considered strong in court is because if I can tell you enough times that the perpetrator was Chinese, even though it was an African American or a regular American white person, I can modify your thoughts.
One thing.
Oh, only one.
Justice for Johnny Depp.
That's what they did. So instead to says, oh, poor Amber. So how much Amber was damaged? It was like justice for Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny Depp. So the hashtags are bad. No, the Twitters, they were embedded. So Do you think it's justice good? Like, yeah, I'm good at standing for justice. And that's where they close the cross-examination.
And that's it.
Because people is going to remember the first thing you says and
And the
then
last thing. Yes. Oh, and talking about this, yeah, because I have it like my ideas. You remember that we saw, I don't remember, it was a study about memory?
Oh, yeah.
Documentary? It's the same. You can do the same.
You can modify, and by the way, you can use this for good or for bad. If somebody's smoking, is an addict, or have a traumatic experience, you can modify the pattern, convincing they happened the opposite, or didn't happen, or did happen. Actually, it's Elizabeth Lovefoot, and I talked to Eric Handley on the first time that he interviewed me, that the you can embed command in people. That's the reason the Manchurian Candidate was so a great movie. Why? Because people says nobody can hypnotize or brainwash to do something they don't want to. You don't need to go that far. Nope. Kid serial killers, kid killers. We are not therapists, and we don't plain one on YouTube. We're not going to go there. Nope. But it can happen. We see it happen, and we work in cases seeing people react to that. Can I go to the next slide? Because the third is the winner. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's go with the next slide. So, how fast was the car when it smashed? Contact the second car. I contact you. I smash you. I'm gonna use it as my punching ball. So like, okay, I smash you. I contact you.
Ow. No ow.
No ow. So now again, close your eyes. Think about the word smash. Elba, what's coming to your head?
Something that can be damaged.
Contact. Contact is contact me on LinkedIn. Contact me on the email. Contact is two things barely knowing each other, barely on the future possibly cross paths.
But it's nothing like you can see like a big boom there.
So I broke the bed, split the bed, damaged the bed. So you see how language makes the difference? What car got broken glass? It was any broken glass. If I says, what car got broken glass? What happened? You assume it was broken glass.
It was.
So you need to pick from your weird, messed up memory. But it says, it was any broken glass?
Nothing happened.
Are you in a doubt? Because you're asking me if was any broken glass. But if I ask you what car have the broken glass, it's completely different. Did you saw the car leaving the scene, stop it on the stop sign? The only thing you're going to see is the stop sign.
The stop sign.
Do you know what happened on the video that we put? It's not a stop sign. It's not. So the last one, did you saw the car leaving the scene, stop it at any sign? Leading questions. When the lawyer says leading question, from the legal standpoint, we're not going to get the notes there. But from the behavioral standpoint is, did you took the red candies?
No, I didn't took the red candies.
Did you took any candy? Did you stop anywhere before you came home? Classic. We not take it anymore infidelity cases. Dude, deal with your divorce lawyer. Says, how do I ask my partner, male and female, no gender, if they're cheating on me? Like one question. When they come late, do not ask if X and Y was in the room. Don't ask if they were to this place. Don't ask ask, where are you coming from? Were you late? I was having drinking with my coworkers. Oh, which one was there? Oh my God, you have such a good time. And who was in charge of the drink? So you start doing a conversation until you get to the answer you're looking for. Leading questions are good if you know what you're doing. If it's not, make a bigger open-ended question. Did you saw the car leaving the scene, stop it on the stop sign? The only answer is going to be yes or no. Are you going to be collecting information in that question?
No, you don't need to.
If I says, did you saw the car leaving the scene, stop it on any sign? Do I going to collect information?
No.
Yes.
Oh, no, yes. Sorry, I was thinking in the last one. I was thinking.
No. Did you saw the car? Okay. We both have an accent, so you cannot blame it on me.
No.
Honey. Did you saw the car leaving the scene, stop it on any sign?
No.
Okay. Another possibility is you ask, what sign? When it was, what sign?
Mhm.
So I can use an open-ended question and narrow you down. Now, you don't know, you have a doubt. Now can I implant in your brain any decision, any idea, because you don't remember. So this is way more complex, is going deeper and is going more to like manipulation. I get it.
Yes.
Call it the way you want it. We call it influence people the way you want it, but you can leave questions and answers and conversation the way you want. The good news is you can influence your kids.
Oh, yes.
You can do that. So the studies show that when people use a smash, the average speed was 40.5 miles an hour. When the people asked if they collide, 39.3, bump it, 38.1, hit 34.0, contacted 31.8. Maybe for you, 9 to 10 miles a difference is not a lot, but when you have a lawsuit, when you need to prove if your client was speeding or not, is make the difference.
Yes.
Now, I broke the bed, damaged the bed, or the bed had a splint, or the bed was splinted. Does make the difference?
Yes,
Why?
definitely. Because it's not the same. If I damage the bed, okay, if you imagine a damaged bed, you can see that it's things all over the place. That is, if you damage the bed, it's like, okay, let's rewind, because it's like, I want to make your point. If I broke the bed, it's damaged. It's
damaged forever.
Damaged forever, and it's destroyed. That's the word that I want you to know. It's destroyed. So it's not going to be an easy way to fix it. Now,
and it's not a correlation between the picture and the word you're using.
No,
because
that was my point. If you see the picture, you can see, okay, this is a broken bed. It looks like a damaged bed. You see, it's the difference.
So when you can use the words with the image, so I think what Camille was doing is luring her again to put the food on their mouth. We are trying to get a specialist. Then I trying to lure him to get to the show. It's not that he doesn't want to. He's in Spain doing a seminar, but he's a former FBI profiler and he specialized in borderline narcissist. A confession to me, he was the one who diagnosed my ex-husband. Yeah. So I know he's the best on the field. But he says that because she has such an ego, the best way to make her to confess is work her ego. So the way Camille used broken is not that Camille was trying to induce to the jury to think that the Johnny Depp broke the bed, is to break on the ego of Amber. Broke. Okay, you says it broke. Broke. When she exacerbate so much the situation and Amber agree in exacerbation the situation, and I suddenly is expectations.
Yes,
actually it's more expectation. Like it's exacerbating. So when I show the picture, the expectations are different than what you're going to see. You only see a little piece of wood who doesn't modify the structure of the bed, who's more a splinter. So Camille was from broken, damage to splint. What is give us? If I says, like when you set highest overselling, under delivering, when you set the expectation too high, is the same. Oh, Elba, I need to tell you something. I don't know if the food is going to be good. I think I burned the chicken. I think I burned the bacon, and suddenly the salad looked perfect. What is your perception? Better.
It's better.
If I would tell her, I do the best chicken bacon salad on the world, you're going to love it. Your expectation, even though the salad maybe go with the expectation, then I set it up. But as a human, we try to get the expectation low. Piece of advice, what they need to do.
Pay attention to the words.
Pay attention to the expectation. They can higher the expectation and make the expectation higher for two reasons. A, so they can trick you when they deliver. I'm going to deliver on Friday and I deliver Thursday, so you think that I'm more efficient than I am. Or they're overselling, under delivering.
And you don't deliver.
Nope, they don't. Last one. Face Reading Profiling Pro. Yeah, we have this show and we have our own advertisement. Don't complain. This is coming for free. If you don't like it, that is called First Amendment, free speech, liberty
Yes.
to go wherever you want to go. But I think that we provide information that nobody else paying attention. Actually, nobody caught the makeup artist. We're going to do a promo on
No.
that so nobody steal it from us.
Yes. We
I'm
say it
tired
first.
of that. See people taking our material and our words. Face Reading Profiling Pro 6-month classes with 2 years of support. You want to be part of our community? Set a call, talk to us, ask your question. To me, again, the best profiling behavior from all of them is face reading. Is the oldest one. If it's been there for 5,000 years,
Yes.
it's a reason.
Yes, a reason.
Yeah, all things stay there when they have good quality. Now, if you like us,
Make a like.
if you don't like us,
Comment either.
the algorithm work in really, really, really weird ways. So like, share with your friends, make comments. Thank you very much for all the likes. Make sure to subscribe, because one thing is when you watch the video, but when you subscribe, you help the algorithm to let them know that people like our content. And we do this because we have a lot of fun, and we do this, and believe me, it's a lot of work to get all these videos, editing, try to do it, and you're gonna see. But when you put like, share, or you hit the bell, it makes us a huge, huge difference to us. So thank you very much for being there. Now, I think we get in a lot of trouble this week, so.
Oh, yes. If you want to go there and talk with me, you can go to Elba at humanbehaviorlab.com.
And if
Thank
you
you.
tell me something bad, don't write. Oh, yes.
Yes.
I can analyze your language. Go to Susan at humanbehaviorlab.com.
I can stop. Stop it. No.
Come on, put it.
Oh, and
I smash you.
Yeah, you see? I'm going to say that you hit me.
Don't get Amber lawyers.
You hit me.
Get Johnny's.
Yes.
Okay, serious.
Bye.
I don't know how to share, but I had
Me
one. It's
neither.
really difficult. Okay.
But we can make it work.
Ow.
Hey, sorry.
Okay. So, serious again. Yes. I hope that you learn something new. I hope that you can see the world in another way. I hope you can defend yourself from things happening out there. Conclusion, next week. Thank God this is done.
Finally.
Thank God.
Yes.
We are not able, we cannot go on the media too much commenting about what we do. It's a conflict of interest. We cannot talk about it, but we want to go back to normal, because people is hiring us to do the reports about this case, but we're not to show up. We decide not to show up. We're going to be talking here only. And the only person we did it was with Eric Huntley.
Yes.
You are the special one in this team. But pay attention to the words. Don't let other people's comments influence you. If you believe her, is your decision. If you believe him, is your decision. Try to use the things that you want to learn in this behavioral show and any other show to utilize and protect yourself, protect the people you love, not to be taken advantage. When everybody says, oh, she is guilty, we don't know until the end. No, something can happen. To the truth to be told, both lied under the testimony and cross-examination. Now, I do think the problem with her is she elevate the storytelling and characterize character and testimony to a point that is make it difficult to believe. I think there's more the acting she put on the lies than the lies per se. If she would be better on her pose, and again, I don't think she was wrong prepared. I think she's too cocky to accept any comment.
She didn't stick to her truth.
If she would stick to the truth, that's a good call. If she would stick to the truth, I think the damage control will be less. At this
Yes.
point,
We don't know. We don't know.
difficult to say.
Yes.
I hope you enjoy our experts today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Don. Thank you, our nurse esthetician on the team who give us all such an information about the different cannula and needles. Again, there's some people in our team cannot show up on the media because sometimes they're appearing in court, they trade in some high-end clients and they cannot be exposed, and we respect that. We love our team. We're a big family. That's the only thing is her and I, we show each other. I'm tired. I just want to have a glass of wine, finish with editing, and see this show like a spectator.
Me
Honey,
too.
see you next week.
See you next week.
Good job. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.